I'm Chronic, and this is Crystal from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your Raw review for October 22nd, 2012. And friends, enemies, the casual YouTube viewer seeing our video for the first time, there's one escapable fact. Hell in a Cell is this Sunday.
And you are apparently very excited.
I am. But first, we gotta get to the...
Are we gonna watch that this Sunday?
I'm planning to.
Okay.
Gotta do our predictions and scenarios.
Oh, that's true.
Haven't done that in a while.
We have not done that in a while.
This is the last Raw before that pay-per-view, so a lot is gonna be going down.
Right.
Alright,
so we start out. There's an emergency board meeting AJ tweeted about.
Which I didn't remember seeing a lot of AJ last week.
I didn't either.
They kind of went away. The whole storyline kind of fell apart.
Kind of did.
Which I said. Remember, I was saying that a lot of it was not. It was kind of like not going anywhere and stuff.
You did say that.
I think I was right.
And I was sad because I like AJ. But anyways, so now we have the final match of the tag team tournament thingy.
For the number one contendership.
For the number one contendership to go against Team Hell No.
At the pay-per-view.
At the pay-per-view, which apparently was supposed to happen before, but then got discontinued or something. Like they had to reschedule it because Rey Mysterio was sick. I'm not sure.
Well, this match with Rey Mysterio,
yes. Because it was Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio versus Team Rhodes Scholars. In my opinion, this entire tournament has been that Team Rhodes Scholars would win because they had the coolest name. And that was my only logic. And it was correct, because they did indeed win. I did find... Sorry, Kitty was moving and I was afraid she was about to leap out like a crazy cat and attack my face.
Yeah, while she's sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, she's pretending to sleep. See, I have a permanent scar on my hand where his cat attacked me. Anyways...
You know, Sin Cara came out to, like, absolutely no reaction, I gotta say.
Yeah, and they kept saying... that Rey Mysterio is Sin Cara's mentor, and he's taking him under his wing. They said that like 20 times. I thought the guys were about the same age, and that Sin Cara had an extensive career in Mexico.
Well...
Which makes me think, why would he need Rey Mysterio to mentor him? Seems like he's got things under control.
I know, but the WWE audience doesn't know that. So to him, to everyone, he's all new. You know what I mean?
But I knew that. I knew that he's not some, like, 18-year-old kid that just started wrestling.
Well, yeah, but...
You have blue stuff on your lip.
It's probably the Lucky Charms I ate. Just saying.
I'm sorry.
No, anyways.
I just noticed that.
No, anyways. There goes that match.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, and then the Team Hell No provides some pyros courtesy of Game.
Which was nice.
Then they talked about how WWE was in Egypt for the first time.
Which was cool.
Pretty cool.
Had some cool photos.
Yes. And then we had Kofi versus McGillicuddy.
Kofi Kingston, the new Intercontinental Champion.
Since Wednesday. What is this new show on Wednesday that they have?
Main event, I think. I don't know.
Okay. Anyways.
Don't pay attention to that.
So,
obviously.
Miz is on commentary. Kofi wins. It's an okay match. Mr. Perfect's son.
Had a match? My God, we were just talking about him when we watched the Mr. Perfect DVD.
We watched the Mr. Perfect DVD and we were just like...
Well, that guy has been gone forever. And then here he is.
Yeah. I thought he was like gone forever.
I mean, for real, like all these guys that hadn't been doing anything, showing up.
Popping up now.
In matches, in random stables,
cool.
Which is nice. Seems like, you know, they might be doing some firing after a while. But hey, at least they're doing something. And later tonight, we got to see tons of people we hadn't seen in a gazillion years. But anyways.
Alright, so then Cena comes out, gives an anti-Punk promo. He's like putting over Ryback, like he is like talking for Ryback almost.
Well, like, somebody's got to, because all he says is Phoebe Moore.
Because Ryback is not doing his own promos for the match. Cena is doing them for him.
Which I think is a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. It's just a little weird to me.
Well, I mean, you can't have Ryback go out there and, like, try to spar verbally with Punk, because it would be a disaster.
I mean,
and it doesn't even, like, go with his gimmick. I'm just explaining.
It's still weird to me, even though I know that.
Well, you be weird.
Okay. Alright, so Punk comes out, he gets some cheap, I hate the local football team hate. Then he starts talking like he's the president. Because he's like, I've done all I promised. I promised change and I gave it to you.
Well, in the Americas right now, they're doing the presidential debate.
No kidding.
I'm just saying!
You act like I don't know anything!
No, that's not... Sometimes you have to explain these things because you can't assume that everyone knows what you're talking about.
Okay, I guess that's true. I thought you were telling me...
I think you're just ultra-sensitive.
No, I thought you were telling me that we had an election going on right now. I didn't know that you were telling that to our worldwide viewing audience.
How long have we been doing these videos?
I'm so sorry.
You're just being sensitive.
I'm being sensitive.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, alright, so... Punk then starts giving kind of a better promo. He says you're Ryback's cheerleader because you realize that he can beat me when you can't. And Cena's like, no, I'm just talking about how excited I am about the pay-per-view, and I wasn't allowed to beat you, but now, medically cleared, so let's have a match right now. So Punk starts, they rip off their shirts, and Punk starts marching to the ring, and Heyman's like, no, you don't need to do that.
Well, I mean, he does have a big match coming up this Sunday. He probably shouldn't be out there possibly getting hurt and all that sort of thing.
I know.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to... I don't want
Invisible wall.
Anything that you don't know.
No, invisible wall. Invisible wall.
I gotta make sure you
Invisible wall.
before I speak.
Okay, so
I'll
now
speak
we have
over here.
Antonio Cesaro. Did I
United
say it
States
correctly
champion.
that time?
Cesaro, yeah.
Versus Justin Gabriel. And this match was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
What do you mean not as bad?
I mean, it actually wasn't bad at all. I thought it was
Exactly.
going to be terrible.
Why?
But it was good because I'm still not into Cesaro. I'm just not into him.
Why?
And I didn't know that Justin Gabriel had any talent whatsoever, but apparently he has a lot.
Have you never seen one of his matches?
I don't think I have, actually. I think the last time I saw dude, he was in Nexus.
Having matches.
It doesn't count when you're with 5 other people who are all wearing the same shirt because I couldn't tell them apart.
Well, if you watch SmackDown...
If I watched SmackDown,
you would have saw some
all
of his...
would be right with the world.
Saw some of his matches.
Well,
just saying.
I'm sorry. So I discovered the dude has talent and he's pretty cool.
Well...
That's what I learned tonight. And
well,
he, by the way, won the match.
If other people would have seen that too out in the world, maybe the guy wouldn't be so low on the card.
It's true. He's really pretty cool.
He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
Alright, so now we get to the scene. Vince and AJ are getting out of the limo.
Together.
Dramatically. I know, together. They're getting out of the back of the limo. I thought about that too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, it's Vince McMahon.
I know, it's Vince McMahon. What do you expect here?
I mean...
All alone. Anyways.
Just saying.
So Vince, first of all, there's like a 3-second commercial cut here. It was really weird.
Yeah,
I think something happened.
It might have been because we were watching the foreign,
the UK
stream
version.
Yeah, but
maybe
not. I mean, it kind of looked like they went 2-second commercial.
Yeah. But anyways, so Vince comes out and says AJ is going to tell you about what happened because our meeting was about her tenure as the general manager of Raw. So AJ starts talking and she says because of allegations of me fraternite. Why can't I say that word now? I said it all night long. Fraternizing?
Yeah.
Fraternite?
You can continue.
Okay, with superstars, I am going to resign. The allegations are false, but I understand I could have been fired for a lot of other things, blah, 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 made unorthodox, people like crazy chicks. I've come so far, started out with nothing. Thank you, Vince, for the opportunity. Hugs. And then Heyman comes out.
Now, I'm glad that she's done with the whole general manager.
I am not glad.
Because
I am upset.
Because she's a good wrestler.
She's a good wrestler, but all that means is that she is now never going to be on TV, never going to do anything, and be stuck with all the rest of the talented women that do nothing except for tackle each other randomly and throw popcorn like they did tonight.
Well, Is
this not true?
I would much rather her have like 2 matches a month than have 0 in a year.
But for her career is much more advantageous to be on TV constantly.
You know, if she's...
Than to be completely forgotten.
Forget it. If she's a great wrestler, and they're not going to let her be a wrestler, then it would be better for her to go to another company, or even work on the indie scene, than to just sit around and
How
be
would that
employed.
be better? Because then she would make less money.
I know. She would make less money.
Career-wise, that would be a terrible decision.
Well, it depends what's most important in your career, whether you want money or you want to be a wrestler. Now, I understand the money thing, and I get that, but if
you know what? I'm sorry.
Look,
no matter what anybody says,
it is about the money.
It's about the money.
I know it's about the money. But there's a line.
Of course it's because of the money.
Like, if they get paid to never wrestle, what kind of crap is that? Like,
I would love to get paid to do nothing. That's like my dream job.
But it's
get paid tons of money to just do nothing.
It's an artistic thing.
It's an artistic thing.
What if AJ grew... No, if she grew old and never could... She got so old she could never wrestle again. And, like, yeah, she got a bunch of money, but she didn't get to do what she loved.
Who cares? You have a bunch of money. money.
I get that.
You can get the money and then do stuff that you love to do.
But why did Kelly and the Bella Twins and all these other people leave the WWE?
Because they wanted to be models, I'm sure.
No, then why are they wrestling independently?
I don't got nothing else to do.
Boom.
Gotta pay the bills somehow. Anyways, to wrap this little segment up, I get your point too. I just don't, get it.
It's like throwing...
It doesn't make logical sense.
It's throwing away the thing that you're best at and you care the most about.
But who cares if you get paid?
If you had to give up the number one thing that you cared about and, you like to do just for money, don't you think you'd feel just a little bit...
But what I like to do is, sit at home and read and do puzzles and watch TV and travel and hang out with you. All of which requires money to do, and there is no job description that would fit that.
Well...
So there.
Okay, whatever.
The percentage of people that do something that they love is this big.
And probably a bunch of them are wrestlers. Just saying. You can continue.
Alright, I'll wrap up this segment for our first video. Anyway, so Heyman comes out, and he hates on AJ. He starts just trashing her and saying all this, bad stuff. I couldn't think of the right word I'm trying to think of. Uncouth, I don't know.
Uncouth?
It's not the word that I'm looking for, but it's something like that.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, that's too bad. Alright, so, he wants to be the new GM. And he gives this long, dramatic speech, and then Vince says, no. And it was a pretty good moment. And then Vince says, I'm going to introduce...
Paul Heyman could have been there. But he would have been one-sided to Punk, and that would have been really irritating.
Paul Heyman irritates me. I know he's supposed to, but he just really does. Anyways, so Vince says, no, I'm going to introduce you not to the interim GM, not to the general manager, but to the managing supervisor, Vicky Guerrero.
What managing supervisor is...
supervisor? What's the difference? I don't understand.
These titles are just getting ridiculous.
So there's deafening boos. Then Vicky comes out. He says, I'm touched that the board values my expertise. Heyman says, you need to reverse this whole thing and give CM Punk back his option of whether to fight Ryback or not. Vicky says, no. But we're going to have champion versus champion. CM Punk versus Sheamus. Heyman says you can't. Vicky says, watch me, and it's going to be a lumberjack match.
Yay!
Woo!
Lumberjack.
Heyman storms off angry in a little hissy fit. And then Vince says, tisk tisk to AJ, or Vicky says, tisk tisk to AJ, I knew all along, I am mature and wise, and the allegations, you were not only fraternizing, you had an affair. And I was like, oh, it's got to be Cena.
I mean, who else could you have an affair with?
Exactly.
Who else is married?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Well, he's not even married anymore.
Well, yeah, but...
And then she says, pack your stuff and get out. AJ attacks her. So that's basically the end. By the way, the whole time that Vicky was speaking, there was deafening boos.
Poor old Vicky. I wanted Ric Flair or somebody to be manager, or the general whatevers, but quit giving me that hand gesture. I know how much time we got. I can take all the time I need.